Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Two Hands in a Radio, where we take a conversational fireside chat approach to inexpensive shortwave radios and other stuff. What a windy day today. I'll apologize about the wind already. There is always wind out here. Oh, here's the conversational side. There's always wind out here. I can leave the house and there is absolutely nothing. And when I get out here, I don't know if it's the elevation, if it's just in the middle of nowhere. I don't know why. The wind always kicks up. Absolutely amazing. So I apologize about that. Don't know why I have to apologize about it, but I do anyway. Today, first, thank you to Chuck. Chuck's helped out in a bunch of different ways, and two different ways today. One thank you is for his monetary, well actually both of them are monetary donation to the channel, and he also donated some money to buy this radio. And I know that sounds like that doesn't even make sense. Doesn't make sense to me. No, it does. Yeah, it does. No, he normally donates monthly, and he had sent his monthly donation in, and then when I told him the story about this one, well, he said, well, here, let me split the cost with you and help you out. And so he's doubled up on me. So a double thank you to Chuck. I tell you what, he almost single-handedly keeps the channel going. And I really appreciate you, Chuck. I appreciate your friendship more than anything. I'll give all the money back just for your friendship. I'll tell you what. Anyway, we need more Chucks in the world. And anyway, today, I digress. Quickly digress. But hey, that's the way the channel rolls. Today we're going to look at a fun one. Today there's another conversation about this one. Oh my. The outrage culture is just about to implode. They're looking at their timers to see when does he actually open the box. I don't give a shit anymore. This is my second one. The first one I bought, well, I ordered it back, December of last year. Of course, it gets on a slow boat to China and it takes a long time to get here. I got it, I don't know, the end of January or something. And I swear I did a video on it. I know I did, but there is no video. I just know I did. And I have a fail-safe method that all these videos are backed up in 3 different places. And in case YouTube gets fed up with me, or YouTube ceases to exist, which I can't see happen, but if disaster strikes, I can move the entire channel's content right along to other competitors, if I have to. So I have this fail-safe method. There is no video. Okay, well, shit, then I guess I need to go make a video of it. There is no radio. There's nothing. I have torn everything apart. For 8 weeks, I've torn everything apart looking for this radio. It's nowhere. It's gone. I've even gone as far as there was one point that I took a box of radios to my local thrift store, and I donate those in hopes to inspire other people to listen to radio. Even went there, had them search their back room. Looked on the shelf, searched their back room. I know it hadn't been that long ago since I had donated, so I thought maybe they hadn't even put it out yet. And it was complete zero. So the only thing I could do is take another one for the team and just buy another one. It's not a bad radio. So Anyway, I digress wildly at the beginning. But we're going to look at the Hanrongda HRD 737. Enjoy broadcasting. Well, you won't broadcast with this radio, but you will enjoy listening to broadcast. They label this as a portable aircraft band radio. This goes under the heading of wideband receiver, inexpensive wideband receiver. That's what you got to keep in mind. The outrage culture is going to say, well, it doesn't have single sideband and can't do CW. And all you people that ask that question, do you even know what single sideband is or what CW, how to decode CW? That's the question that always goes through my mind. People try to bash these inexpensive radios because they don't have single sideband. You don't have a clue as to the cost of a radio that can tune in single sideband. Anyway, I digress. Well, this is a wideband receiver, and it's inexpensive. I got it for $35.44. There are cheaper out there. My caution would be look at their feedback if you're buying it off eBay. Some of the feedbacks for the cheaper models are really sketchy, and you may just be throwing your money away. I picked a higher feedback rating, and I paid a little more money for it. The average prices are $33 to $40. And anyway, let's dig into this. I'm going to show you this is empty. Well, the cheap instruction manual's in here. It's an instruction booklet with micro print that you'll not be able to even read on the screen. So it's in there. But I'll start with the contents of everything. We get some interesting earbuds, and I know they're cheap earbuds, and I'm sure they don't work well at all. But what I liked is they give you extra earbud things that come off and get stuck in your ear and have to be surgically removed. That's why I don't mess with these things, but they're there if you want to mess with them. We also get this really cool, it's just neat looking. It's all springy, long wire that you can clip to your antenna. Keep in mind this antenna is only 9.5 inches long, so you're definitely going to need some kind of wire or something hooked up to it. And you know where we'll go with all that. But you get that in there. And of course you get the handy dandy bonus points because it's detached. And I have the option to put it on. Handy wrist strap that we absolutely love. We'll throw that off to the side and the wind will probably get a hold of that. And that'll be the end of that. But here it is. Of course, you know me, I opted for the gold. Comes in two colors, comes in black and gold. I opted for the gold because I thought it was shiny. And it's actually a lot prettier than the pictures. I'm very, very pleased. 4 1/8 inch tall, 2 3/8 inches wide, 5/8 inches thick. The reason I bought this is it slips in your shirt pocket. It is not the sharpest knife in the block, but it's fun. Man, this is fun. And it, like I said, slip in your shirt pocket, pants pocket, nobody'll know. Nothing, it can go anywhere. It is fun. But there is one little uh-oh about it that I think we probably ought to start with that uh-oh. 9.5 inch antenna. Very, very fragile at the top. Scary fragile at the top. We have, what do we have? We have no direct entry keypad, no tuning wheel knob, very limited on what we can do. But you know, we've looked at several wideband receivers that don't have a whole lot of buttonry, but they are kind of powerful. Band selector, we're going to take us, you know, AM, FM, all that good stuff. Set button, mode button. The mode button, the set button will take you through like your meters on shortwave. Your mode button, that's where you can change things inside the different band. The mode button on AM will change from 9 to 10 kilohertz. Toggle back and forth. the mode button in shortwave will toggle your meters. In VHF, and here's where I get lost at. In VHF, it'll just toggle wide or narrow bandwidth. Okay. I sure wished it was tuning step. We'll get to that momentarily. The set button also doubles as, in your airband, it doubles as a squelch on and off. I've got it set to on. I'm not terribly thrilled with on or off, and that's my only choice. There's no level to it. It's just on or off. So how does it know? Yeah, okay. And off is just all hiss. So, I don't know. We'll test it out here and see what happens. We've got a little 40 millimeter speaker in here. Google can help you with millimeters to inches. It's tiny. Volume here. On the right hand side we have a tuning flapper, up and down flapper. I don't know, whatever they call that switch, I guess, probably the highly technical term. Backside we have a battery. The battery's already installed. Let me try to really mess things up. And it is a BYT 302040. If you Google that number, BYT number there, you can get these really inexpensive for replacement batteries. And it just, you can see, I don't know if you can see it or not, just unplugs and plugs in. Very, very easy. Actually kind of cool. And so yeah, it's an odd battery. Probably like a, I don't know what kind of battery, so I'm not going to guess at it. LCD screen up front, 9.5-inch antenna on the top, which I've already got the antenna up, making it a real mess. Stereo headphone jack. Our USB charging port. We have a lock button and a power sleep button. Here you can toggle on is just a default to 90 minutes. You can keep pressing that and take your sleep timer all the way down to whatever. Kind of interesting. So I think we ought to dive into it, and we probably ought to take a look at the part that I'm not terribly fond of. The one glaring negative that I see, and that is your tuning step in VHF. It's too wide. I've got it set now, of course I've got the bandwidth to narrow or wide. I just put it on narrow, it doesn't matter. Wide helps a little bit, but we'll just leave it at narrow. I just want to show you my dilemma. Say my repeater is 146,790. That's what I want to listen to. Okay, well that's easy enough. We'll use our tuning wheel here. 146,700. I'm very close. 146,725. Puts the 5 down there in the bottom, real nice and small. 146,750. 146,775. Well, we're getting close. 146,800. It only works in, what would I be looking at? 0.025 megahertz maybe, or something, whatever the step is. No, that's too wide. I want 790. You can't get 790 from here. And several repeaters in my area are that way. Now I can, at 146,800, I can set it to wide, and I can kind of hear, like if a net's going on or whatever, I can understand it, but you know that it's not tuned in right. To me, if that's what you want this radio for, that's a big negative at that point. To me, I don't care. I have so many things to listen to VHF and UHF frequency. That doesn't really bother me, but it is a negative that I want to bring up. It's just that step is just too wide. And just say you wanted 147, 790. Let's try 790 or 147, 740. Let's say that's your. There's 147. 147. 725, 750. No, I want 740. So you see the dilemma there. If it's not if your repeaters in your area are not on a number divisible by 25, if it doesn't end in 0, 25, 50, or 75, I guess it's not divisible by 25, but you know what I'm trying to say, then you're going to have a real issue trying to even hear it. Just something that I've battled with this, and and I'm sure the outreach cultural rules say, oh, they could do a firmware update and change all that. I really doubt that the Chinese market is going to do a firmware update on a $30 radio and fix something like that. They have it set for a reason, but it's interesting that that's the only thing you can't change the tuning step on. I can change it on AM. The air mode, I can go from 5 to 25. It's interesting that is pinned down like that. Just an observation. And then who am I? So here's our FM. And you can hold the button down and just absolutely. My other thought is, I'm hearing more than one station there, that's for sure, just on this little antenna. Let's see if we can get 88.7 in. The other thing, I guess the other little miniature thing is, if you hold the flappers down over here, the tuning buttons, it can fly, which is good, except I think it flies too fast. Here's 88.7. Oh. Interesting. It pulls it in. Well, that's good. And I think you can just kind of short press it and it'll search to the next one. It's got a good audio to it. Let's zip ahead.
We trained 700 teachers that year alone in how to.
That's full volume. Got a good volume. Got a great volume to it. Well, that's FM. Let's look at AM. And it is, it's not even, it's 10:30 in the morning or so. So I don't know that we're going to get a whole lot of anything. But I do want to see if it will at least bring in WLW Cincinnati. Yeah, it does. It does have a backlight, kind of an orange backlight. It's kind of pretty. Don't know about battery life. Maybe I'll do a battery test on it and see how long it takes to run to empty, and I'll post that in a caption down here or something. Oh, while I'm going through all this, thanks to Chuck, and if you would like to help donate also, there's a link under the description box. It'll take you to PayPal, and you can donate there through PayPal, and all that money is used to buy radios like this, just to bring content to the channel. And
as a teacher, as a school board member, I am.
There's our local station. I'll tell you, I have your solution, lady. My solution is that I'll tell you, I'd never go political. I hope this isn't political. But at 9/11, planes were grounded. And before those planes flew again, there were sky marshals on every plane. And you didn't know who they were, but they were armed. And if you pulled any crazy shit, they would take care of you. Why don't we have those in schools? I wonder what the delay is because of that. Anyway, the outrage culture will have fun with that comment. that's what they were talking about. So, a wild digression for me. There's 1390. It's not bad. Not bad. Not bad. It'll do a lot better at night. I guarantee that. It's not, there again, it's not a DX machine. It's okay. Let's move on away from that. Shortwave, I don't want to look at shortwave yet, because you know what I'm going to do. Oh, it does have a special section of CB. Don't think our CB starts quite at 25. I think theirs does. Notice how fast it can scan through things. Let's just let it scan and see if it finds anything. I'm sorry, did I stop you? Let's just see what happens. The range on this thing is from 2.3 to really 2.3 all the way up to 223 megahertz. It goes into the 222s. 220 stuff, which we don't have anything around here, but anyway, so it just starts over. You've got to find somebody on CB chatting, and instead of doing that, let's just roll up. Let's just roll through, because we know where they're at. Kind of, sort of. Of course, a little, yeah, I don't know, it's a little ass antenna. Don't need much of an antenna for CB though, not a lot anyway. I wonder. Yeah, it's there. Like I said, you would actually have to have somebody talking to pick anything up, but it's there for your dining pleasure, that's for sure. Airband, I've got it set on our airport, and I've also got the squelch on. So, curiously just seeing, we'll just chit-chat for a moment. Let me look through my notes. I've taken you through most of it. This can also, if you long press your tuners up here, I've already showed you it'll search, but if you long press the band, it will search and store. It'll store things in memory for you. The memo button here is for memory, and you can go through and toggle through those memories, or you can put them in yourself. It's all your personal preference of how you want to get there. I don't think I ever use any memories. Things change too much. Where my interest lies mostly in shortwave, AM, FM, medium wave, FM. Yeah, your memories come in handy because those don't change very much. But your shortwave changes every 15 minutes. It can with the propagation, so I don't see much need for memory for shortwave. And but it's there. If that's what you want to do, this will search and store things in memory and make life easy for you. I'm not hearing a thing, but there again, now the squelch is off, and you're going to have to listen to that all the time. So let's just wait for just a minute, just see if we pick anything up. And my thought on the squelch is it needs to be a little more refined. Squelch needs to be refined, and the VHF needs some kind of a step tossed in there. As fast as this thing searches, not searches, but as fast as it tunes, it's blinding fast. They could get away with just a like a 1 kilohertz step, and you'd get there fast. Maybe I want to tune to one. I mean, I could tell someone, meet me on simplex of 146, 743. Well, you're not going to get there with this. So, you could, as fast as it can tune, I would be happy at just that 1 kilohertz step. Not hearing much today, and our airport is just goofy anyway. Goofy slow, I'm sorry, just goofy slow. We'll just ramble through and see if it finds anything with the squelch off. Finds a lot of trash. It's a fun little radio. Almost sounded like something. Let's turn the squelch on. And let's just try it with squelch on this time and just see what happens. If it actually picks up anything. If it doesn't pick up anything, then I would say that the squelch is way too tight. You gotta be careful not hold it down too long or it starts to spin out of control. The whole key with this radio is you got to have fun with it. And I know there is a mass of people out there that are way too serious about this stuff. And I don't think they'll be pleased with it. But if you can relax and have fun and just, I'm going to go take pictures of that barn and just throw a radio in your pocket and whatever. I mean, to me, it's fun. Let's just see if we can start over or keep going or something. I don't think there's anything up there. You see how fast that it just bangs along. Go to 600 and then we'll start again. Okay, so let's start again. Golly. See how fast that goes? That's where it wants to start. By golly, we'll let her go. Nifty noodles, that's for sure. Yeah, I think we've been there and done that. And that's with the squelch on. We've done it with squelch off, squelch on. There's nothing there. Find that hard to believe with the Indianapolis airport up there. Normally, we do hear things on the other, that Yaesu FT70DR, it lights the airbands up. But it's got a better antenna hooked up to it too. Okay, better antenna. Break time. We're gonna go for the gold here is what I'm gonna say. I shall return. Alrighty, you know what I was gonna do. I got the fat part of the antenna, telescopic antenna, not that narrow part. Be careful with that. And I've got our 20-foot sloper antenna hooked up to it. I'm sure that's way, way too much antenna for this thing. But sometimes you just gotta say, who gives a shit, and just move on. We're gonna do what we're gonna do. Yeah, we're going to get some FM overload, I would say. I didn't pack a shorter piece. This really, ideally, about a 5-foot section maybe would. He's getting some stuff, though. About a 5-foot section of wire thrown out there would probably be the best, I suppose. We'll just take a look and see. Looks like it's pretty continuous, actually. 4950 might just be a reflection of 5,000. There's 5 megahertz WWV. Hopefully you can hear that. With a 9.5 little teeny tiny antenna, we're not going to get anything on shortwave. Maybe some super powerful stations, 5850 at night maybe. Be about the only thing you're going to get. Yeah, it does look like it jumps a bit. Goes to the next international band. Well, we'll just quickly go through this and see what happens. There's something. No, it doesn't have to be single sideband. That 70, whatever it was. There's a Chinese station that broadcasts down on that, I think it is. So here's CHU out of Canada, I believe. Comes in strong. We'll move on. Yeah, it's pretty continuous. It hasn't blown its lid yet, so that's kind of nice. I think that wire's a bit much. I would not recommend anybody at home, don't try this trick at home by putting 23 foot of wire on the end of it. But hey, I take one for the team. It's actually with a little help. Whoa, back up there, Slick. Come back here. You skipped over 10. Boy, you skipped over that, didn't you? There's a good example of whether you do automatic tuning search or whether you browse to the next available station. The example is these radios can skip right over strong stuff. And the only true way to do it, which you and I don't have time to do, is to sit here and do this. And just rumble along at that speed. That would be the only real way to do it. Because when you try to do the automatic tuning search or browse to the next station, whatever in the hell you want to call it today, it skips over stuff. But for the sake of our sanities and time, we will just browse to the next station. This is just, and this also, alrighty. Lost my train of thought. And that's, that's not a rant, but it is. Hey, I've had one commenter that I obviously didn't know what I was doing, didn't know what I was talking about or anything else. No, I don't ever claim to. But I do know a fun radio when I look at it. And this is just a fast overview. All of this is designed to help you make a decision. Notice I said you make a decision. I don't want to be responsible for you going out and buying this radio and saying, I bought it because of you. Don't do that. You may be sorely disappointed. Do it because you want to. Do it because I helped you decide maybe, oh, there's the vulture. I wondered when Mr. Vulture would come overhead. Let's continue. Oops. Let us continue. Maybe I talk too much. I don't care. It's just me. We're getting there. Well, there is stuff there, that's for sure. We definitely want to stop at 15 megahertz. If this doesn't, we'll go back to it again. Another example. This should be fairly strong. Like I said, you can barely hear it. Yeah, it was a good call. See, if I disconnect that, it'll go to absolute nothing. I'm not even going to play with that little antenna. You could hear it. Not strong enough to trip this thing to say, ooh, stop here. Actually does really good, I think. How do you imagine taking this on a picnic or something and just throwing a wire up in the air somehow, just a little piece of wire, and just sit and there you go. I like the gold. I like red, yellow, gold. Did I mention it fits in a shirt pocket? Oh, God, imagine if I started to repeat myself. Just imagine if I started to repeat myself. Just imagine if I started to repeat myself. Oh, the heads that have just exploded on that one. Oh, God, it's not Consumer Report. I apologize wholeheartedly that my channel is not drier than a popcorn fart. I think we're about as high as we're going to go on this one. And it comes back to the time. It's only 11 o'clock today. So, got out here early. Neat little radio. Neat little radio. Do I recommend it to everybody? No. Well, you gotta understand what it is. There's all the frequencies and everything that you can see, which I think I've already rattled on about. 700 milliamp hour battery. It's not a bad little fella in there. I thought I'd even tested it at one point. I tested the battery, and I don't think it's a terrible battery life. I would not jump up and down and tell everybody to buy one. Just caution with that one. You got to enjoy what it is. And I see so many people can't enjoy what something is anymore. So that's why I'm very cautious to say run out and buy one. $35, yeah, this is cool. I mean, it's my second one, so I got to see something in it. If the only reason you're buying it's for the VHF end of it, that's the weakest link of this radio. That still kind of sucks. And I'd really hoped that maybe they had corrected that with this model, this second one, and maybe they saw the flaw early and changed production around and updated the firmware or whatever. But no, alas, they didn't. And that's about the only glaring negative to the whole thing is that. Squelch on and off is kind of poor. That's bad for the airband people that really dig that end of it. That's, listening to that hiss all the time waiting for an airplane, that can get really tiresome. But different location, that squelch on may fit your lifestyle just perfectly. It may fit exactly what you're into. And it may just fit. It may not fit here. It may fit at your place, vice versa, or whatever. So, you know, it's not bad. It's a fun little radio. I mean, I can take this and just, I say, throw it in my shirt pocket and just take off. And I think that is great. And it's not something cumbersome. When you're out walking around or something, it's not cumbersome. It's got, you know, it's got potential. I like it. Anyway, I had fun with it. I'm still having fun with it. And that's the key to the whole thing. So I guess I better shut up. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, I don't blame you. Really don't. My channel is not for everybody. And I've already had to defend myself on another video that I never claimed that this channel's for anybody. Does anybody pay to watch this channel, I wonder? As far as I know, this is all free for you to watch, so don't get mad at me because you're watching something free and don't like it. It's not Netflix, CBS, ABC quality, I guarantee that. So with that, it's a beautiful day, it's a windy day, you can see it all windy around. Go out and make it a good day, enjoy your day, have some fun, try to have fun. And we will see you at the next review.